Hey guys, it's Brandon. I just want to shoot a quick little video, talk to you guys about how to do a quick little weather briefing, kind of let you guys see it from a flight instructor's kind of perspective, kind of how I go about doing it. Today's a perfect example of why you need to do a quick little weather briefing. Looks like a wonderful day to go flying. Probably visibility is 20-30 miles, not a cloud in the sky, light winds out of the south, 8 to 10 knots. Looks like a wonderful day to go flying. And it's tricky because I have a lot of students and renters who come out with their girlfriend, their wife, their kids, their best friend, want to take them up for the first flight. And I say, hey, do you really want to take them flying today? And they look at me and think, well, yeah, it's a perfect day to go flying. It's going to be smooth and stuff. I said, hey, you might want to go inside and kind of check the weather real quick, then make a determination kind of what you want to do. So, and now with the apps and the websites and stuff, there's really no excuse to, go jump in an airplane without checking some sort of weather and everything. So I'm just going to walk you through a couple of the apps, a couple of the websites that I use to, check my weather and stuff. Like I said, every morning, whenever one of the things is you never want to be caught by surprise. You never want to take off and just get into massive turbulence. You never want to take off and the next thing you know, there's a big cold front just streaming right in at you. So you want to be prepared. You want to be aware of what the weather conditions are doing and whatnot. And like I said, with the technology today, there's no excuse for not being aware of what's going on or being able to anticipate what type of weather is going to be happening, the next hour, the next day, or 10 days from now type of stuff. So anyway, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to flip this thing around real quick. There's this website that's really cool. Well, I'll walk you through what I check first. So I got my little handy duty iPad. There we go. One of the first things that I check first is my radar, a little app right there. Click that. And this is great because it comes up with the radar, but also I can go in there and check a lot of the aviation layers and stuff. So you can see it's got a lot of stuff highlighted and stuff. So the green is going to be turbulence. Of course, you can see the bands of the rain and stuff like that kind of feeding through Missouri and a little bit Arkansas, Louisiana. Okay, and it also shows the surface winds. See how the surface winds are kind of curling up and around right up in here towards the middle part of Kansas and stuff. So I'm going to zoom into us. Okay, I'm going to click on that, see what that shows. So it pops up turbulence. Click on that. So it shows me moderate turbulence from the surface to 12,000 feet. Great. So like I said, it looked like a clear day, wonderful day to go flying, but now I know as soon as I get that airplane airborne, it's going to be rough. Okay. I'm going to click on this layer of turbulence. Same thing, surface to 12,000, surface to 12,000, 18 to 38,000. I'm not going to be flying that high today, hopefully. Okay, and all that looks good. Now if you look, looks like we got some rain showers and stuff right there next to us. And then also down here in the Jacksboro and Bridgeport area. That's not the case. So from my experience, that's just the wind farms when they generate a lot of electricity. The radar is going to be able to pick that up and check that out. So like I said, not any rain, thunderstorms, anything like that in the area, but we do have an air med out for turbulence. Okay. Another thing that I'll check is aero weather. There we go. This comes up with a list of airports, and you can hit refresh right down here, and it's going to give you the most recent METARs for the airports that you choose. So, like I said, Gainesville 18 minutes ago was showing winds out of the southwest at 4 knots. Looks wonderful, right? And everything in the area looks pretty calm. Okay, and what I do is I try to expand out from just my airport to out several hundred miles and stuff. So if there's a big cold front coming through Wichita, Kansas, or Oklahoma City, and Amarillo, I can kind of see how that's progressing to me as it goes through Ardmore and Wichita Falls and stuff like that. And also, we have a lot of IFR stuff feeding up from the south. So want to check the, Denton, Alliance, those type of sites and stuff like that. So, and then of course we got the coolest thing ever, ForeFlight. To me, there's not an excuse not to get ForeFlight. It's $99 a year for the basic subscription. And And I'm kind of curious to see how many people it's saved their lives in the weather, but also not flying through, run or having airspace incursions and stuff like that. So a quick little check. Bring this up. Airmets, SIGMETs. It's going to bring up pretty much the same airmets and SIGMETs that my radar had. So I'm going to click on that real quick. So it's showing moderate turbulence from surface to 12,000 until 10 a.m. Now that doesn't mean it's going to expire at 10 a.m. and go away. They could reactivate that airmet and it could continue on for another, however long type deal, okay? I'm going to check any TFRs in the area. That's real important. So we got the one down at near Love Field at the Bush's residence. Not a big deal. Nothing really else going on in the area. All right, so I'm going to check my ceilings. Like I said, not much going on, but there is a little bit of marginal weather out towards the east, out towards Paris, a little bit further on. That's very common for this time of the morning. By 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, that stuff's burned off. So that's not a big deal. Now I'm going to check my visibility. Visibility looks like it's pretty well 10 everywhere. A couple low sites just south of DFW. But that all looks good. But in this area, so the main thing we're looking at is moderate turbulence. Visibility is good. There's not a ceiling for us because there's not a cloud in the sky. Another thing I could do is I can check, radar, satellite, and stuff like that. But what I'm going to show you is this other website real quick. Aviationweather.gov. Everybody's familiar with that. I'm going to show you how to find a really, really good website for our particular area. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to advisories, go down to center weather, click on that. All right, so now I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to click on ZFW Fort Worth. And it's going to come up with some other things. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down one last time and click on that. All right, so this gives me a really good snapshot of what's going on. So there's a dry line, okay? So just know, anytime there's a dry line out here, it's gonna be windy as hell at Gainesville or Wichita Falls or whatnot in our general area and stuff. It really drives up a lot of moisture and a lot of winds out of the south, southwest and stuff. So, ForeFlight was showing me that I had some marginal ceilings over here, and that kind of correlates with what this is showing, so that's looking good. Okay, so now I know why it's going to be windy as hell today, because we got this dry line. Okay, so that's current forecast, what's going to be showing what's going on later. So that dry line is going to progress, kind of towards the east a little bit. Then it's going to get really windy in the panhandle, and it's showing marginal ceilings, IFR ceilings becoming VFR at 18 to 1900 Zulu. So that's good for us. So looks like it's going to be windy. This is pretty cool. So this is just kind of like at the DFW kind of area. So the wind's going to remain out of the south for most of the day. The ceiling is going to improve around 1400 Zulu. And visibility is going to continue to be good. Radar, I'm going to loop the radar. Not much going on. We have a little bit of some ground clutter from the wind generators and whatnot. A little bit of rain up in, like I said, Missouri and Arkansas kind of feeding off. Jet stream, check out the jet stream, not much going on. Corner post winds, this is at 15,000 feet. So they're out of the west, southwest at 40 to 50 knots. Turbulence, okay, so this is one of the best things I like to look at. So we got our air mats kind of like ForeFlight, my radar was showing. So they're saying light to moderate turbulence below 12,000, and they're showing the gusty winds in the panhandle region, okay? And, okay, now we're going to go back to ForeFlight. Now we're going to look and see what the forecast is actually going to do. Now we have a good idea of what's going on with that dry line and all that type of stuff. So I got Gainesville Airport in here, so I'm going to click on weather. I'm going to click on, we know the winds are out of the southwest at 4 knots, so I'm going to click on MOS. All right, so this is great. This is just like a TAF, but for your particular airport. Okay, and from what I understand, it's only ForeFlight kind of has this. It's a forecast has been around for a while, just not many people have used it, but ForeFlight's kind of grabbed it and used it for their flying app. So this is saying at 10 a.m. the winds are going to be at 18 knots. I like it kind of south-southwest. 11 knots, 21 knots. Noon, supposed to get up to 22, 23. But then this evening the wind's going to die down. And then early in the morning, about 7 a.m., the wind's going to come out of the north and stay out of the north. Looks like the remainder of the day, and be pretty nice. Then Sunday, we're going to start having some rain chances kind of come in. So not looking too good for flying Sunday morning, but we'll just have to see as the forecast gets closer. Okay, another important thing. Like I said, there's several times where I go flying and it's absolutely dead calm. So you're like, all right, which runway should I use? Well, typically you can use whatever you want because the wind's calm. But what I like to do is kind of check the winds loft. So winds loft at 3,000 feet are out of the westerly at 32 knots. So that's a pretty big difference between, a light south wind, out of the south, a light south wind, here in Gainesville, and then as soon as you get airborne, you're going to be getting in that westerly stuff at 32 knots and stuff. If you're flying west, you're going to have a big headwind. Another thing is, as soon as you take off flying towards the south, just anticipate there's going to be a westerly wind trying to blow you towards the east, so you need to kind of compensate for that. So, like I said, don't be caught by surprise when you go airborne and that happens to you. Think about it, look at this, and you're going to be a lot better prepared. Also, you can look at the forecast discussion. These guys, this is actual meteorologists that kind of write down their kind of thoughts on what's going to be happening over the next day or two in our area. So you kind of look at the kind of see what they're kind of dreaming up, what's kind of going on in their mind about weather conditions that's going to be happening. So anyway, so that's a 12-minute long video that I shot on this. Like I said, it's probably takes 5 minutes, 6 minutes to do a decent weather briefing. If I'm still not exactly sure and I want a second opinion, then I'm going to call up 1-800-WX-BRIEF and get a hold of them and kind of see what they're doing. Or, I'll call my brother, my dad, Mike, one of my best friends or whoever, and get an opinion from them, because I know sometimes we really want to go flying, we really want to get to our destination, we're in a time crunch, we get the weather, we're like, oh man, I think it's doable, and then you talk to the weather briefers on the phone, or you talk to your friend on the phone, and they say, hey man, it's not looking too good. Maybe you should hold off, let's wait a couple hours or something like that. So anyway, so this is a quick little video. Hope it helps. Anyway, talk to you guys later.